Angry guy here, and 98% of men are no longer getting married. 98% of men are no longer getting married. These statistics are absolutely insane. So the article is titled Why It's Not Worth Getting Married Anymore Unless You're About to Pass Away. The story is by Polly Dunbar. And it's crazy because you have a lot of these feminists who are absolutely celebrating the passing of marriage. Unbelievable. It is one of the oldest institutions known to humanity, with the first recorded instance dating from 2350 BC in Mesopotamia. Now, more than 4 millennia later, marriage could be on the verge of completely being a thing of the past. New figures from the Office for National Statistics shows that for the first time, fewer than half of adults are in a marriage or civil partnership, down from 50.6% in 2020 to 49.44% in 2022. So less than half of all Americans are actually married right now. But here's the real shocker. According to an analysis of the decline in marriage over a 50-year period by the think tank Civitas, the institution will all but disappear by 2062, when just one couple for every 400 adults will marry, compared to one couple for every 100 now, a drop of more than 70% in 2 generations. Just to be clear, we are currently at a point where 98%, based on these statistics, of just one couple out of every 100 marrying, that is 98% of men not marrying. 98% of men are currently not marrying. Only 2% of people are currently getting married, guys. 2%. The marriage rate in the United States is currently at a whopping 2%. At only 2%. 98% of men are not getting married. And yet women are acting like everything is hunky dory. And the prediction is by 2062, that number will only be 0.5%. So only less than half a percent. So about half a percent of Americans will get married come 2062. So right now only 2% of Americans are getting married, but by 2062 it'll be half a percent. This is insane. So they're saying that, oh well, there's still hope, guys. Only 2% of people are getting married right now. 2%. We're literally just 2% points away from 100. To say that this is not the mouse utopia is insane. And one of the craziest things I've noticed, I was watching a video earlier, and they basically pointed out, it was a video from Tucker Carlson. He talked about this factor that women are going to keep having children, but they won't be having children with decent men. So they're going to continue having children with Chad, Brad, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, Pancho. Little Pancho has many children, and they love Little Panchos. Little Pancho is not going to stop. Little Pancho is not going to stop until he stopped. Until he stopped, Little Pancho is not going to stop. So these people, they're going to keep having kids, but they're not going to be having kids in the families. The family unit is all but done in Western society. It's over. It's completely over. And it's amazing because you're watching the feminists who are celebrating the complete end of marriage. They are celebrating the end of marriage. They're celebrating the end of relationships between, in Western society. They're celebrating the decline of Western society. Who does something like this? Who celebrates the downfall of humanity? Like, think about that very, very carefully. They are literally celebrating the decline. So, with the average cost of a wedding coming in at a staggering £18,000, it's unsurprising. That was a tongue twister, right? It shouldn't have been, but it was. It's unsurprising that many young couples are prioritizing saving for a house deposit or having children ahead of a ritual increasingly regarded as outdated and unnecessary. My partner and I have been together for 12 years, but we don't want to get married, explained Eleanor, 28, who has been with Omar since they were 16, as the institution has rightly modernized, a marriage would have very little impact on our daily life or relationship. So I don't really see the point. The only part of marriage that I could feel like I'm missing out on is the wedding day. But I just think there are better ways to spend our money. Now, to be very clear, I agree that no one should be getting married. Period. In this day and age, it's something that no man should be doing because it's basically just free money for the women for the woman. It's 100% free money for the woman. But it's not just a decline in marriage, it's a decline in the family. You have these people who are called dinks, and dinks are spreading rapidly. And you know what? At first, I was like, oh my gosh, even the name sounds weird, but I can't blame them. So, dinks are basically dual income, no kids. It's when you have people who are married or just in committed relationships that are choosing to forego parenthood and instead have no children and just enjoy their lives. And they're posting videos online of showing how happy their lives are with no children and all the things that they're able to afford. And I'm going to say, to be very honest, it makes perfect sense. There are some guys who are just arrogant and ignorant in my comments, saying that the man provides and all this other nonsense, as though you like God ordains us to go off and have children and suffer and have to take care of, in many cases, kids who aren't even ours, or kids who end up despising us because the mothers poison them against us, and the court systems take them away from us. It's like that's one of the reasons why I can't stand these simps, because they come in many different shapes, sizes, and forms. Like I've said, the incels, the INCELs, they're just another form of simp. And it's like there are a lot of men who are just basically telling young men that they have no choice other than to go. This is why I don't like the Christians. The Christians are sick people. Like you have no choice but to go and find a woman and have a child, have children, and then provide for those children, regardless of whether or not you're respected or whatever. That's what God has put you here to do. You have no other. That's your main purpose here, is to reproduce and have babies. Like, guys, these people are sick. If you don't have children, if you don't reproduce, you've failed. You've gone against God and his will, because that is your purpose. That is, guys, these people are lunatics. These people are absolute fanatics. The cult of Christianity. Like, how much evil has Christianity done in this world? How many people has Christianity pushed away from God? Don't get me wrong. When it comes to most atheists, they don't believe because they can't believe. But I'm going to be honest with you. Christianity sense pushes so many people away from Jesus. It really does, because there's no easier choice than to choose Jesus. But Christianity makes it hard. They really do, because they tell you that you're headed to hell if you don't love your neighbor, and if you don't do this and this and all these other things. That's absolute bull crap. The easiest choice you can make is to accept Christ. Oh, to accept Christ is to also love your fellow man. Oh, to accept Christ is to understand that you must establish a family and follow the order of that. Bro, that has nothing to do with. You cannot lose your salvation from any of these things. Your relationship with God and relationship with man are not separate. The Bible says that we are created in the image of God, so God and man are one. Get the hell out of here. Guys, that's like I said, and that's a subject for another video. But guys, the simp is just a disgusting creature. It's just an absolute disgusting creature. And as you can see, guys, as a result of the actions of the simps, marriage is on extreme decline. They're like saying, oh, in 2062 it'll be at 0.5%. Half a percent. Like, bro, it's at 2% right now. It's at 2% in 2024. It's at 2%. Only 2% of people in Western society are getting married. 2%. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. 98% of men are no longer marrying. What do you guys think regarding this? Are you shocked by these statistics? Let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away, and cheers.